what gives me hope is the Holy Spirit who is coming soon on the church, because here we celebrate the day of Pentecost next Sunday
Mhm,
in Egypt.
mhm.
And it's when everything is collapsing that the Holy Spirit will start blowing in a way unexpected. So, despite the dim and gloomy speech I had up till now, I'm full of hope. But the church which will come up after these days will be completely different of the old church, to the point that we will not recognize it. Uh, the old church was really sociological more than spiritual. Maybe I'm too sharp in my critic, but we are entering in an area of miracles, uh, but this would not be built on human or political or sociological premises. No, it will be a new Pentecost. And after these, you know, the Church of Constantine is over now, it's finished. What we call Christendom. Christendom is doomed, is finished. Uh, so, what is the new church which is coming? Uh, I, I guess that it will be first a church of the laity, uh, and according to what was coming in the Acts of the Apostles, in the last days, I will send my spirit on every human being, every living people. Uh, your son and daughters will prophesize. Your elderly will have visions, whatever. I don't remember the text exactly. So, in my opinion, the Constantine Church is over. Uh, and I'm happy that it's over, because institution is not charismatic. The charisma is going to blow again, according to me, in the new church, and but we will have to suffer a lot, and the persecutions which we endure nowadays on all levels in all countries of the world, not only Africa or Asia, but in Europe itself, in Canada itself, in the United States. It's a, it will be Christians and will be persecuted, and this would be the condition for a revival of the church. The church will revive through martyrdom. The martyrs will play a role uh, beyond charisma, beyond institution, beyond priesthood. Uh, I think that a new faith, a new, a new faith, a new kind of faith.
Mm. Dear Henry, these are the sources of your hope. And what are the signs of your hope? It's do you see any signs of these coming events, or you just rely on the Bible?
Signs are very dim, really. uh, if you look at signs in the in the Christian practice, it's, it's, there no longer exist these signs. The signs are not apparent, are not visible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a hope and faith. And we are entering in a very dark period, in my opinion, and this will be will divide Christians into different camps. The old conception will fall apart, but the new one and the new one. Another point is the massive conversions of Muslims to Christianity all over the world, and especially in our Arab countries. Millions of Muslims are leaving Islam and shifting to Christianity or to atheism. But these are very critical and very pugnacious against their former religion. In my opinion, the church of tomorrow will be mostly composed of former Muslims and former atheists and former people were and who are still out of the church. So the kind of people of tomorrow, of Christians of tomorrow, will be mostly, in my opinion, coming from out of the church. The present church, the present believers will fall apart because they are too much depending on money system, economic system, political system, and not deeply rooted in real faith. Mm-hmm. So the revival will come exactly like in the first church with Paul. Saint Paul, the church, the new church, was coming from the pagans, the Greeks, the unbelievers. These has been the basis of the church in the first centuries, and this is what will happen, in my opinion, nowadays. Those who were out of the church will be the new believers with a fire within themselves, faith so new and so strong that we will attend a new Pentecost, in my opinion. The more we are persecuted, the more I rejoice. Sorry, this word is not maybe correct, but persecutions to me is a sign of revival, and we will get stronger and stronger as much as we are persecuted and persecuted. So I'm living in a country mostly Muslim, but I believe that in a very short time, Egypt will really become Christian in a new way. And the price to be paid is the martyrs we have now in Egypt and in the Muslim world. Well, this is my feeling. I have no proofs, of course. I don't have a kind of proof about what I'm saying. It's just a feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Henry, maybe you are familiar with the Roman Rite Pentecostal time announced the new synodal way by Pope Francis. He just called all the Christians, all the Catholic Christians in the world to start a new synodal process, which will finished in 2 years in November, a universal episcopal synodus. Maybe you are familiar with this. What's your opinion about this synodal, announced synodal process? Do you have any hope that it will help someday?
Of course, because Vatican II is a shift from a hierarchical church composed of bishops and cardinals and priests to a wider basis. The church is no longer a pyramid like that. It's a pyramid like that now. The faithful are the church, not the cleric. So Vatican II was the first synod or the first council to invite people of other faith, people of other confessions, Orthodox and Protestant, even atheists. So it means that the Spirit blows from not from the top to bottom, but from bottom to top, I would say. The bottom of the church in a large scale has something to say, extremely important. And I think this synod is a sign of hope because people are eager to speak up, to express themselves. They have a lot of solutions and of ideas. So to me, it's a sign of great hope. My conclusion can be the beginning of my talk. It's a call to holiness, a call to sanctity, beyond all reform of structures or theology or whatever. If spiritual life is not renewed in a deep, deep way in the church, getting away from structures and politics, the church is too much political. We have to deepen our roots in the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of sanctity. He is holy, and we are called to holiness. So without a deep conversion, I speak of conversion because we need a conversion at all levels of the church. Otherwise, it will be superficial changes and nothing would happen. So, and a last word about Hungary. Hungary, for me, my new country, my new citizenship, is a great hope nowadays. We are a small country. Hungary is a small country, but the message which is transmitted to the whole of Europe, to the whole of the world, from this tiny country which is called Hungary, is enormous. I believe, not only I am proud of being Hungarian, but I believe that Hungary has a message and a mission nowadays. Thank you.